said the busy builder is now live. Streaming miniatures.
The Buzz Builder side element.
Kinetic medic set point.
Hello there. Alright, we're getting back in on this monster. Managed to get all the control arms on. Next we're going to do the CV axles. And how you doing, medic? Thank you for the resub.
Kinetic medic said well hello there.
Ah, the camera got bumped. There we go.
Extreme element said kinetic medic just subscribed.
There.
7 months in the Roblox chat.
There, that's better. Yeah, we're working on this big beast.
Kinetic medic said I am poking robots at work, testing them, making the site.
Yes, we must poke the metallic monstrosities. 13, 14, 24, 6, 29. I have to make 8 of these. Let's see if I have as much frustration as I did yesterday. To be fair, I was having some muscle control issues yesterday, too. 13, 14, 24. 13, 14.
Kinetic medic said I've spent so little time on minis and models lately. Been pouring any and all free time on working on my retro gaming project.
Yeah, but if that gaming project's getting you something and getting you somewhere, then so much the better, you know? Like right now, I'm slowly saving up for the Humvee. Once I get that, it's gonna take a larger portion of my time. But that's because I'll be able to put the Camaro down and actually work on it. Okay, so we'll come
Kinetic medic
back.
said well, it's teaching me Autodesk Fusion and circuit design and stuff.
See, so you're learning many things. Did you bring your puff back? I can't throw it if you didn't bring it. Or did you put it in the box? No, you didn't put it in the box. Okay. You didn't bring your puff, I can't throw it. Ah. when I get that, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop streaming, but it just means my priorities will shift again, because with the Camaro down, I'll be able to actually work on it. I won't have to rely on it being 100% mobile at all times. Which right now it's my daily, so can't exactly go taking the hood and fenders off again. What are you meowing at, huh? Yeah, pardon the Frankie. He wants to play. Well, if you want to play, you gotta bring your puff. I can't throw the puff if you don't bring it up. Where is it?
At BRCRAD and TFK said you could, but...
Hey, Craven. Oh, I could, but... yeah, I need to be able to drive. And, come on, don't get shaky today. Aries did create a new stream goal. I guess he wants to see me get the 16th scale Leopard 2A7 by this same company. People think this thing's big. Well, Frank, you're gonna have to wait a second. I'm almost done getting all the parts, and then we can do some fetch, okay? Did you bring it? You still didn't bring it. Go get your puff. It's over there. I see it. Sometimes he actually listens.
Kinetic Medic said sent you pics of close to the latest design iteration.
Let's see what we got. Ooh. How big's the screen gonna be?
Kinetic Medic said 5-inch.
Will it run MAME? Because for Christmas, my wife got me that little handheld, like, R34 system that promptly got banned, I believe.
Kinetic Medic said RetroPie spec to handle PS1.
Okay. And the best game on it, just because of the size of it, are the old, like, 90s side-scrolling arcade games. It was worth it just for the Aliens arcade game alone. Hi, Frankles. We've got a visitor. Since I'm not playing fetch with him... It's okay, buddy. Yeah, I'm not ignoring you. We played fetch all morning, and you know that. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to wait a second. Hi. Good boy. Yeah. I know you want attentions. Do I have to take a cat break this early? I just started streaming. Huh?
Kinetic Medic said you do short answer. Mostly yes, it can do main.
Down you go. Stinky little cat. And the only reason we have him is we're the only people that my son's friend knew that had cats. Found him as a kitten, showed up one day. You're the only cat people I know. Nobody claimed him, so here we are. But I like the look of that. It's got kind of a PSP feel, but not as round and uncomfortable to the hands.
Kinetic Medic said that is generally how the infection propagates.
Oh, I know how the infection propagates. CDS. The CDS really, you know, has my number. Well, I hope you can get it made, or are you going to make them yourself regardless and just get them out there?
Kinetic Medic said I'm mostly down to getting the
Gotcha.
to work and then having the PCB fabricated.
But when you say PS1 and older, does that include Sega Genesis and N64? Because those are out at the same time. Let's see if these are pop fit or not. Okay, it gets trapped. I see how it works now. Alright. Okay, this mix got a little oddly screechy. And how you doing, Craven? Are you getting that, dark candy red over black look done on your car? Frankie, Mittens, leave Frankie alone. He's being weird today. And the last thing he needs to do is fight with you. Mittens up. Just because I nicknamed you the Shredder doesn't mean you have to prove it.
Kinetic Medic said N64 is a no. Actually take a lot more room to emulate that. So GB, GBA, NAS, SNES.
So
PS1,
basically anything 32-bit and under. I know this cleaning phase is the slow and meh part, but when you've got 8 axles and 8 wheels and 8 sets of suspension to do, it is a necessary evil. We're maybe a quarter of the way through it. Kind of got frustrated yesterday between my own hands kind of going weird on me, not wanting to work right. Just got in kind of a loop where I'd get frustrated, which caused the shake to get worse.
With a more significant pie involved, you could do more, but I wanted to keep the CPU small and cheap.
Oh yeah. No, I get that. There's still a lot of good games out there, you just gotta find them. Just make sure there's enough memory on it to run Xenogears. There's parts of that game that were almost unplayable on a TV. I'd hate to see how they do on a handheld. The platforming on it especially was just horrendous to figure out. You're just saying that. And people are always saying remake it. I just say re-release it. Because part of its charm is from how it looks and when it was made. You know? That's what made that game what it is. Instead of remaking it, like a total top-down modern-day look, I'd rather see the rest of Disc 2 finished. It did get a re-release not too long ago. Maybe long ago now, but yeah, I'd just like to see the game get finished, because I know it was released in an unfinished state. I'll have to look that up on my computer after I'm done today on this. I don't want to try bringing GitHub up on my phone. I'm sure it could, but I want to be able to actually look at it and read it. Okay. So from what I'm seeing, these are all notched to fit a certain way when they fit together. So they'll all be angled slightly downward. So I really can't fuck up the fit, even if I try. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I know it wasn't made in terms of the content. I would like to see the original artist brought back with what they had in mind and actually do the work and finish it. Hi, Frankles. Yeah. Yeah, that's Mittens on the back of the chair. Hi. Yes? What can I do for you, sir? Hey, your interruptions are getting a bit much now. Yeah, they are. And you still didn't bring me a poof. No poof, no fetch. Mittens, are you going to be nice to him? Okay, am I getting that the right way around? I am. Okay. Good boy. I can't even see what I'm doing. You are a big cat, you know that? Yes, sir? What can I help you with? I think chat's locked up. You're gonna have to get down. There.
Kinetic Medic said no canal locked.
I just had to reset it. If there's anybody on the YouTube side, could you just type something in and let me know? I think things just went strange. And not in a good way. I was half tempted to buy the Soul Reaver remasters.
Said something in.
Oh ha ha. The Soul Reaver remasters on Xbox.
At
It worked.
did it work? Kinetic Medic said not a terrible choice. At Model Student 20 said hey ho, everything seems okay.
Hey, model student, how you doing? We're just working on the most repetitious model ever. At least it feels like it. I really think I should have gone with the simpler option, not the expert one, but I made my decision. Can't go back now.
At Model Student 20 said looks like it is nicely molded.
Oh, it is. A little too nicely in some cases where there was barely any room to bond the parts together, but it is. These CV axles could almost articulate if it wasn't for the fact that they had to be locked into one position. just to keep the model from sagging on its own wheels. Then once I get all these done, I have to make 8 steering balls. And then I have to have the steering balls handed left and right, which I have to make 4 of those.
Kinetic Medic said, oh, that's the other thing I need to work on. My son wants a death racer.
Like from...
09 Davos said, hey builder.
Hey Davos, how you doing? Like a death racer from what? Like the movie? Death Race? I mean, your son is old enough now to kind of see and find stuff like that interesting, but showing him that old Roger Corman flick, whew. Or was it the Jason Statham one?
Kinetic Medic said it's basically an RC car with a bludgeon to decapitate the other drivers, which trigger a kill zone.
Okay.
It's a FDM 3D printer convention thing.
Gotcha. I still have yet to hook up my FDM printer.
Kinetic Medic said the cool part is you can toss mechanism wheels on it, so you can literally drive sideways.
I know the wheels you're talking about, those weird ones that are like the ovals aligned in a certain way.
Kinetic Medic said, yeah, a wheel of wheels.
I heard they've been working on spherical wheels too. I wonder how much it would cost to make a real version of Riding Bean's car now.
Kinetic Medic said project video, I was where it was modding his for first-person view under the argument that he likely sucks at driving an RC, but he sunk way too much time into FPS, so it has to give him an advantage.
The only disadvantage he would have is he wouldn't have peripheral vision unless you mounted the FPV camera on a gimbal like a RC plane has. So that way he could look as he's driving. Okay. G12, G11, G38.
Kinetic Medic said agreed. It would be more like playing old school Doom.
Or even battle tanks. G38, 38, 38. There they are. Okay, that's a bit much even for me right now. I gotta find something different. Hopefully this is less screechy. I have a feeling these balls are going to be interesting. It's not saying to not glue them, but it's got to steer. I'm trying to figure out how all this works put together. So either these will have to pivot inside the control arms, or the whole sphere rotates around them, which it can't do because it attaches directly to this end of the CV axle. So my guess is the sphere is the outer collar of the sphere is going to rotate around it. We'll find out. Now to clean them up. Okay, this is the simplified version, which won't steer. So I'm kind of looking ahead to try and find what does what where. Woohoo. Can I have one day? One day where I work on this and I don't have pieces going onto the floor.
Kinetic Medic said the floor demands its sacrifice.
Oh, we're breaking that one with this kit because every TACOM made kit, because yeah, this is sold by Werk, but it's a TACOM kit, has lost a singular piece which I've had to hand make by scratch and replace it. And this floor's had enough sacrifices over the years. Guessing Frankie finally got bored. And the thing is, he's got poof balls all over this room that he could bring up to me whenever he wants to play. But he seems to think he's got one at the table right now, and he doesn't, because I threw it 20 minutes ago and he hasn't brought it back. However long ago I started, 30 minutes ago, 40 actually. But yeah, I threw it before I started streaming, and he never brought it back up. Yeah, there's no callouts for not gluing on this, even though there should be. We'll figure it out. I know it can't be this part because it locks in there. Okay. So there's that. And that. I can't exactly glue that either, though, because I need it to float, because the other part goes under it.
So I named the prototype robots in our office using the Roman naming scheme, but this apparently has thrown everyone for a loop.
Okay. and their names are... Okay, I'm gonna get 2 of the other parts just to see what the hell's going on here with this, and I can figure it out and get it installed. So I need G42, G35.
Kinetic medic said like Quartus, Quintus, Sextus, Septimus, etc.
Ah, gotcha. Don't forget Romulus and Remus. Goes there. These go here. That goes in there. These go here. So, yeah, that has to float on that.
But those aren't numeric.
Well, that'll really just send everybody for a loop. Don't tell me the glue just... Okay. And these dictate where this goes, because there's an angle to it. Which, if I put this in here... Let's get that glued in place. That can only fit one way because it's D-shaped.
Kinetic medic said they named the first 3 Walter, Jesse, and Saul.
Boo. Like Game of Thrones, I've never watched Breaking Bad. So this goes on here, and then these get trapped on here, and they'll eventually get held in place by other things, but the steering gear goes into this. So yeah, looks like I was right. Yep. So let's build the rest of our balls of doom.
Kinetic medic said same, and yeah, the names didn't do anything for me. I suggested Larry, Curly, and Mo originally.
You gotta name your 5th one Johnny no matter what happens, though. So wait a minute. If that locks that... Okay, I get how that works now. Since this is a free-floating assembly, I can glue this and this. Okay. I just have to make sure glue doesn't get on the other side of that lump. Yeah. Alright. I see now, said the blind man as he peed into the wind. It all comes back to me. There. Okay, I don't feel so stupid now. But if you're making this console with Xenogears in mind, you could name them after the gears. You know, Weltall, things like that. Or you could name them after the characters, you know, Faye, Ellie, Saitan, Billy the Pirate. How you doing, Dean?
Kinetic Medic said yeah. I don't have that much sway.
Aww.
The Busy Builder said hee hee.
Ow, 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 ow.
71 said hee hee.
Yeah, nope, let's not keep dropping shit. That's how I wound up crushing my nuts back during the COVID lockdown. Kept dropping shit. I was hoping my fingers wouldn't be as buttery today. Apparently they are. It doesn't help that I'm working on half-spherical shapes. Sorry, just checking a couple things real quick. Still trying to think of what to do with those 350th scale tripods that Ares sent me.
Kinetic Medic said there's a joke to be made about slippery spherical objects.
There is. There is. Because I don't like the base they came with. The way it's laid out just feels too large for what's trying to be conveyed. Also, they could fit the War of the Worlds on it somewhere. My idea is to do a more dense scene on a base I make myself, or do 2 separate ones using both tripods. Maybe do one like the farmhouse scene in the film, where it crouches down to get closer to Tom Cruise's character. And then the other, maybe, again, like have it leaning against a busted down building. Like it was sick and dying. Okay, so 34 and 41, we'll put those over here. So all the ones for the E assemblies are going to go over here. We've already done one of the D assemblies. So much kit. I'm doing my best to not hit the camera. I've come close a few times. I think after this, a lot of the parts tend to become more singular and left or right sided. So we might be able to make some better progress there. I really don't know what's going on with these leaf springs, but we'll find that out too. Yeah, this isn't a kit that you can really just kind of jump ahead on things, unfortunately. I mean, I could have handled the entire turret as its own assembly. I could have probably even handled the entire like inner hull and got it sealed up. But I really want to get through this suspension so I can just have it done, out of the way. Okay, get me a ball. And yes, for those listening, you can hear my printer going in the background. Printing the last parts for a rather large figure that I'm doing. There we go. Just making sure no glue seeped inside the ball joint. I'm gonna go ahead and glue the other two in, and then we'll do these ends. Those over here. These and these. As we'll get all the axles in place. Did everybody else have a good weekend, though? At least it feels like mine's going by a little slower today than it was yesterday. But then again, I also got out of bed a lot later yesterday, so I started off behind. I like that they've got it, one side's larger than the other, so you can't put it together wrong. You can't put it together backwards or get the ball in upside down. It'll only fit one way. course I forgot that nub. I am a nub.
At Scalamodel Ninja said evening.
How's it going, Ninja? How you doing? Go.
At Scalamodel Ninja said not bad, thanks, just been a live stream.
Alright. Yeah, we'll be on for a little while here still. Trying to get the suspension for this Puma together. And the instructions aren't very clear on what you need to leave unglued and what you need to glue. But we're getting it sorted. Go. Still free, still free, still free. Excellent. Okay. Now we just have to do that 4 more times for the other ones.
At Scalamodel Ninja said I'm about to go cook some dinner, but what you got done so far looks good.
Thanks. It was kind of frustrating yesterday, to be honest. But my own physical condition didn't help. And the more frustrated I got, the worse it got, so... So, large, small, large, small. And same. Yeah, it's all designed so it only fits together one way, so that's a benefit. There's one mod I might make. I saw somebody do it in their build.
Said, that's normally what happens to me. LOL. Once I lose my temper, it's best to stop and walk away.
I was already kind of shaky yesterday when it happened, and it just kept reinforcing itself, so yeah. But the way these steer, once I attach this to the lower hull, right? So inside here you get two arms that attach to this, and two arms that attach to this. Well, I saw somebody had made a modification where they put a link across, so when you turn the wheel, all 8 would steer. So I might do that when I get to that phase. Just a strip of styrene and a couple of metal pins. That's all it takes. Because right now, all 8 can steer, but when they're together, it'll be the front 4 or the rear 4. So having them steer equally would be beneficial.
At Scala Model Ninja said sounds good.
But hindsight being what it is, had I known, I would have just picked the simpler option on the suspension and gone with that. Making sure no glue crept into it. Excuse me.
At Scala Model Ninja said hindsight is a wonderful thing, LOL.
Not always.
At the Model Student 20 said was quiet there for a bit editing and finishing AH.
No worries. You got your own thing to do. We always get quiet here, don't we? Especially when we hyper-focus on what we're working on.
At the Model Student 20 said howdy Model Ninja.
I'm still trying to track down the original computer lady voice. This one doesn't say way the same way. She says it weirdly.
Scalamodel Ninja said I'm hopefully going to continue building my 132nd Lancaster on Friday night.
Ooh, that's a big job. Is that the HK Models one?
At the Model Student 20 said like a wheeled canoe. It doesn't. No way. At Scalamodel Ninja said hi model student.
See, it just doesn't say it the same, does it, Model Student? Well, this is only the channel that would hold, like, the transfer cases and drive lines.
Said, well, 132nd, that's awesome. At Scalamodel Ninja said, yep, the HK1.
Lancaster ain't no small plane. I got buzzed by one just outside Mildenhall one day.
At the Model Student 20 said she's fired.
I mean, we can go through all the voices if you want while we're live and see which one it is. I just can't remember. This one felt like it stiffened up for a second, so I want to keep moving that for a minute. Just like it got a little bit of glue on the pivot point there somewhere.
At the Model Student 20 said ours is getting some work done. Going to check it out again, hopefully NXT week.
What, the Lancaster? I think there's only 2 in the world that fly right now anyway, and yours is one of them. Okay, next step. See, that's the simplified version. Everything I just did for those CV axles so they could steer is 2 pieces each side. I probably could have combined everything. Use the solid axles, or solid control arms, and then the other axles to keep the turning possible.
At Scalamodel Ninja said it
Anyway.
was well with the 2B 20 liberators I have built in 132nd.
So I need G36 and G37. I need to make 2 of them. I don't have any room for anything that big. If I'm building 32nd scale World War II bombers, they may as well fly. Okay, and these will be going on this side, because I noticed in the instructions, the shape is pointing the other way, and the tabs are pointing differently.
At Scalamodel Ninja said I also have the 132nd HK kit of the Dambuster Lane. At the Model Student 20 said nice, I am still trying to find a spot for my 132nd BF110G.
And the 110 is really not that big. Actually, before I go digging too far into these next steps, I really should do my stand-up break. It's been over an hour. Let me get these cleaned up and glued together, then we'll do that.
Model Student 20 said, ugh, those tiny hinges on the canopy air.
What, on the 110? Or on the Cobra? I didn't have too much trouble with them. And you've seen how butterfingery I can be.
At the Model Student 20 said AH Viper. At the Model Student 20 said Tiny Teeny lost one already.
Oofda. Yeah, I think on those I just did one at a time. It took me like 2 hours to do them because I literally did just one at a time. And I used canopy cement for the hinges, so I wouldn't fog the glass or ruin it if the glue spilled over a little bit. And then I just made sure I had each one where it needed to be and let it dry.
At the Model Student 20 said, I think the cat ate it. At Scowl Model Ninja said, LOL.
Yeah, I had to take little Allie to the vet last week. Well, my wife had to take her. We had to take her. Whatever. She had an abscess in her cheek somehow. Vet couldn't find any kind of puncture or scab or scar. Could have been anything. Fight with one of the little brothers. Food caught in there. Something. Alright, with those glued together, I'm going to pause, take a quick move around break. Be right back.
At the Model Student 20 said smiling face with sunglasses emoji. At the Model Student 20 said beauty work on those bikes ninja, I'm a Kali fanboy. At Scowl Model Ninja said I'm in the process of building the Lego Titanic kit at MO and thanks.
Alright, we're back. So, get back to these sprues that we've already got parts off of.
At Themo Del Student 20 said I have trouble with clean still. Grinning face with sweat emoji. I'll get there one day. Grinning face emoji.
What do you mean you have trouble with clean? You can still be clean and still be weathered. You have to study how the things weather. I need the F sprue because there's other parts I need off of that.
At Themo Del Student 20 said clean cars and bikes. Shiny glossy mirror finishes.
Oh, those aren't that hard. You just got to keep the dog away from them. Shit. Where does G15 go? Because I just cut one of them off and I didn't need to.
At Themo Del Student 20 said rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
We'll put it in the big box. I bet you $5 it's just the simplified version of that. Or not. Where's the effing sprue? That's the figure. That's the hull.
At Themo Del Student 20 said that's how I lost the part for the rear rotor motor assembly.
F. Haha! I have found the F sprue. Making sure these are both F52. They are. Frankie's back. F25. Did you bring your poof? You didn't bring it again?
At Themo Del Student 20 said hopefully not the FU sprue.
No, that was yesterday. The FU sprues were yesterday. They just kept telling me, F you! Thing is, I think I'm going to be throwing out a sprue for this that's dedicated to the non-steerable suspension.
At Themo Del Student 20 said, oh, it is all the little parts too.
And part of me was like, no, build Metal Gear Rex. It's snapped together. But I still have to paint it. So I decided on this instead, because I knew if I didn't hunker down and force myself to do this, I wouldn't start it. Not this year, anyway. had those figures sitting around since Christmas. I didn't want them getting damaged in any way. So I figured I'd just get on with it. Aries Studios must be having a busy day at work. He hasn't been able to stop in. It's understandable. Now, I will be off Wednesday, but I probably won't be on here. I've got more dental work coming up. We'll have to see how that morning goes.
Said it's a snap. But this is awesome. Need more paint for it though, it's so big.
No, this isn't Snap Together. Metal Gear Rex is. This is Glue Together. This isn't Snap Together.
Sdkfz said no Rex is a snap, but this is better.
Yeah, Rex is made by Kotobukiya, so it builds up a lot like their Frame Arms series kits. They just reissued it, so I was able to get it below what the current pricing had been for those kits. Ugh. People were wanting over $150 for that kit.
Sdkfz said the paint will be fun on this.
The paint on this will be comparably easy. Because this... excuse me. And this is why I didn't glue these in, because I didn't know what position they would be in it done. I've already got a resin version that I mastered back in 2009, and it's funny that the Kotobukiya kit is almost the same size as mine. Funny that. So yeah, these go here, further reinforcing that. Is my focus out of whack again? So let me finish building these. Excuse me. But they've kind of milked that kit too, because they've got the standard one that I've got, which is the first game version from '98, or the Twin Snakes, depending on how you look at it. And then they did a Metal Gear Solid 4 version where it came without the railgun, but it had a lot of extra parts for like the exposed areas inside the legs and the head. And then there was a third version. It was just all black with like Konami and other like sponsor markings. And this even comes with Liquid Snake for the cockpit, Solid Snake with a Stinger launcher for the ground, and two versions of Gray Fox, with and without his arms. One's crushed, so you can put him under the foot, you know. I might do a quick review. I don't know. It's not exactly a new kit. There's a few reviews out there. There's those. F28 and F44. Times 2. Where are they? Well, there's 44. Gotta get it off the other side too, I guess. Those. The fun part coming up is going to be these little, looks like brake lines. That's all I can guess that they are. They're connected to these mechanisms. Because those... Let me get one assembled first, then I'll be able to tell what the hell I'm doing with it. Okay. There's a little Pac-Man shaped tab on here that goes into the little Pac-Man shaped hole on the back of this, which is good. It means you can only put it together one way. So these, okay, I go here and here, and then it looks like F7 and F4 go here. All we can start doing is glue shit in place and see what happens. I already don't like this. This is backward. Get the glue out of there. It's correct for the front, but for the rear it's not. The rear has to go the other way, it looks like. Yeah, something's not right. So this one here is fine. But this one... So the D goes that way. Did I get this on the part wrong? Come on, get off there. Like the KMFDM song says, come on, go off. Yeah, that needs to go like that, but the lock on the part doesn't match, which tells me that's wrong. I should be using part 45 since it's reversed. How much you want to bet I'm right? Yep. That got my building senses tingling for a second, because I'm like, wait a minute. We've been reversing everything else on this kit as we glue it together, when it comes to the steering knuckles and everything else. So the same should be for the brake levers. Because if I'd glued this on otherwise, it would be facing forward, not correctly. Set you there, because we'll be going to you on the next side. I need 2 sets of F7 and F4. F7, F4. Okay, so on 2 of these, the brake line glues to here through that, and then a turnbuckle is attached to part 7. Which goes through this hole. I need these 2 first, and then I need these turnbuckles. These make sure I'm getting it on the right one. Yeah, go on the lower one. Just click in place, please. Come on. So then I have to take this and put that through it and then line it up with that. Can I get my... Trying to get my finger off and it pulled the part out. Come on. Go to your slot. There we go. Let's get the front one done too. Get on there. In there. Glue ya. And then this one. Goes like that. But that little end of the turnbuckle has to go in the hole. And once that's in there, then glue it all in place and be done with it. We might switch over and work on the turret for a little bit, because before I even try and do this side, after I do this, I'm going to have to let all this dry so I can handle it better, because I'm going to have these in the way, brake lines in the way, a whole bunch of other things. So, itchy face. So yeah, we might skip up to the turret a little bit and give that some attention. And the other thing is, all those, I think, glue onto that. So they'll help reinforce things. Yeah. So I hope so far me building this has been a little educational, even with my little stupid crash out yesterday. Well, it wasn't really a crash out. I just got thoroughly fed up with what was going on with the fit there. I put it aside, came back to it a few hours later, and finished up the lower portions. The assembly was mostly the same, just different shapes. And is my autofocus really being a C-nut today?
At the model student 20 said I missed it. I crashed out this morning briefly, lol.
No, that was yesterday that I crashed out. Not like really like crashing out, but just you could tell I was getting frustrated and fed up. Mainly because of the fact I didn't know what needed to stay movable, and with the way these go together, you can't just lock it into place or you could throw off the entire geometry, so you have to leave them loose until you get everything in, because you wind up gluing these together anyway, and locking the whole assembly. They weren't keyed or anything. These top ones are keyed a little bit, but these bottom ones are not. And actually, speaking of which, just to reinforce them, I'm going to glue them now. Haha! Get fucked! Anyway. I probably should have done the little brake lines as well before I put these on, but too late now. I really didn't want to deal with possibly damaging those brake lines while I was doing this. They'll fit easily enough. So I need 54 and 53 times 2. We'll handle these one at a time. I don't want to... Okay. That one ready. What does that attach to in the end run here? It's the other side. It just free floats, so it can snag and catch on everything and then eventually snap. Because it doesn't go on until I put the brake backing plates in. Great. So yeah, it's gonna sit there like that. How's the meme go, Tacom? How's it go? Not a great plan. And then this one glues to the smaller hole on this side of that plate. Right down in... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really? I swear my camera is emotionally handicapped. Yeah, we're gonna say that. We're gonna go with emotionally handicapped here. Thing is, I can't glue it, because I don't know where I'm going to have to move it to next, right? So the best I can do is just glue the very ends and hope it doesn't flop around too much when I do the other side. Probably tomorrow after I get off work. I don't know. But at least this side seems to be progressing smoother than yesterday's was. But I really want to allow all of this more time to dry, so we're definitely going to switch over to something else on it. And the thing is, the way I've got it laying is probably the correct routing for it. But it'll feel nice to work on a part that I don't need, you know, 4 sprues all exactly the same that are larger than my cutting mat. Am I sure I want to get the Leopard 2A7 now? Should I see if I can put the parts from a Hanglong Leopard 2 into it to make it RC? I'd be more worried about the sturdiness of construction overall. Alright, so one side is okay done. Let's skip ahead to the turret, like we said. There we are. And before we get going on this, I'm going to take another move around break. Let me get all my sprues at the ready first. H K U. I'll need the F sprues. Don't know if I'll need the K ones just yet. Will I need H? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's primarily F sprues and U sprues, with some of the clear sprues for other pieces. So there's U. There's the F's. Put those there. key. And we can actually so this all fits onto here, like so. And I actually test fit it the other day, and everything seemed to really just pop right in as it should, even the upper suspension parts. Yeah, it fits together real tight. I just can't do anything in here yet because of all the steering stuff that has to happen. We're gonna go on a wee break, and then we'll be back. Alright, we're back. We're gonna change up the music a little bit too. It's about to end anyway. Alright, so I need U13. Like that. Yep. But we're going to do that from the inside. Just helps keep the outer face of the turret a bit cleaner looking. Z2? What is Z the photo etch? Nope. Oh, Z is the clear parts. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's part of the scope. Alright. It's got an oddly detailed interior for something that's... I don't know. I'll probably shoot it with a coat of buff before I close it up. Do some light detail painting. I'm going to have Commander's hatch with somebody in it, and the loader's hatch, somebody sitting in it. I don't know how much you'll see, but it ought to fill it okay. But even the MG42 is a little model kit all on its own. Overall, I'd say this isn't a terrible kit at all. It fits like it's supposed to. The instructions could be a bit more clear and concise on things so far. Especially with that suspension, they just... Given that when everything's said and done, the up and down articulation matters nothing. They could have really saved it on that instead of having the option for a movable control arm, because the CV axle's fixed no matter how you build it. Use all the solid pieces, and then when it comes to doing the turnable front end, that's when you choose the control arm with the ball at the end, or without. Other than that, all the other parts are almost exactly the same, minus the complexity of the parts breakdown. I think something's going to go over that. Nope. I'll clean up that seam later. For now, we're just going to go with the glue. Because all I got to do is scrape this on the outside. Maybe hit it with some surfacer to blend it away a little bit. Not too worried. So, 28. $29. I mean, will this MG shoot when I'm done with it too? Good lord. 27. $17. $4. Okay, 43, 44. The small parts can wait. Let's get the big ones assembled. And actually, while I have this on the loose, let me get its mount and get it properly affixed to the hull before I lose it. Because I almost swept it off the desk. Sorry, I know we're going back to the hull for a second, but I don't want to lose that. I want to check out one more thing first. Sorry. I know I keep apologizing for things I'm not doing wrong. Okay. Okay, it does reverse, so I need... Yep, I need it to go exactly how it's going. Alrighty, let's get back to where we were. Okay. Oh, because there's a bit of sprue nub there. Goes there. Those come off completely because the barrel goes out to that side when they're changing it. Okay. I really wish I could have got the Airsoft MG42 when I had the chance. I would have loved to have made a smart gun out of it. One divot, one pip. Line up the pips and divots. Yeah, they made this needlessly. Okay, I can't deal with this. I gotta do something about the focus on this. Has it been focused okay for you guys, most part? Feels like it keeps going in or out for me. I'm just locking it right here where I normally have my hand anyway. That's part of the problem when you're building stuff like this, though, is you keep kind of losing that. Holy crap. Especially for a gun that's going to be inside the vehicle, for the most part. I don't even know how much of it's going to protrude out through the mantlet. Charging handle. And it broke in half as I was trying to even pop it off the sprue.
At Julius D471 said hello everyone. I hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah, this is the end of my weekend. This is my Sunday. It's been okay. I might go out and make another tank short later. Alright, so those are done. Where's the muzzle brake? U15. There it is. I think everybody else is out doing their usual Monday stuff. It's going alright. Got everything up to the brake lines done on one side. I want to let that cure before I do the other side. I'm not too worried about this. I'll give that a thin layer of mud and dust, just the way stuff settles on these. You might not even see much of it anyway once the fenders are on. Yeah, that all fits right up into here. Now the fun part on the breech. I did study up a little on this. This part as shown in the instructions is upside down. The notch has to go up, or else it'll put the recoil compensators too high and it won't fit through here. Excuse me. Ow. So yeah, while the suspension dries overnight, we're working on the turret for now. Excuse me again. Right. Aha, that goes like that. I had it in the wrong place. Yeah, we're just gonna glue everything up. I don't need to have a mobile breach. On this channel, we don't play with our models unless they're expressly built to be RC. U6 and U5. This has a surprisingly complete breach on it, to be honest. I wish they'd given the weasels even a little bit of interior. Especially the 20mm one with how huge that hatch is on that. Two. One and two. I'm starting to get the yawns. That's fine. We got a lot further today than I thought we would. I was dreading running into a situation like yesterday. I was not happy about that. I was half tempted to delete the VOD, believe it or not. Not my best. Yeah. Stay. And then, let me get the other parts together for this so I can show you what I meant by the notch. There's the compensator. Okay, so this piece can only fit one way. So it'll go right there. So if I put this in as the instructions say, like that, it'll sit crooked for one. No, come on. Yeah, you really can't get it in properly, to be honest. It's too wide. So how you can mistake that is one question. But they show it with the notch down. It needs to be notch up. Because that way this can fit down in there all the way. And when you go to put this on from the outside, it all goes together right. If you try and fit this on like the instructions say, the other way around, this will be backwards. And as you saw, you can't get it to sit properly anyway. So that's the right way to do it. Notch up. Because then, once you put it in here, your trunnion engages on the pins, right? And yeah, I think I'm going to put the MG on here in a sec. Because they've got a long spindly part that goes there that the MG sits on, and it'll be easier to line up with this in place already. And I kind of want to paint the MG separate. This damn little bastard. Who the fuck's contacting me? Could have sworn I glued that in place. Sometimes it feels like you need 3 hands to build kits these days. There we go. Then throw a little glue here and around these. That'll keep everything trapped together. I'll get Get the MG stand glued on too. It's U33. Wherever that is now. There it is. But I think that's also a good indication that I need to stop and have lunch. It's been almost 3 hours. Just over 2.5. 2:40. But it's definitely lunchtime then. Glue in there vertically, parallel, square, whatever term you want to use. Good enough. Yeah, I think we'll call it a stream for now. I'll do my best to be back on tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if I'll be on Wednesday. I've got the day off from work for some more dental stuff. I don't know how I'm going to be after that. So yeah, if I'm on Wednesday, I'll be on Wednesday. If I'm not, I believe my next day off after that is Sunday. And I'll try and be on in between as I can. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for any new subs and